Today we're going to have a traditional New Year's Day meal. Something I've had every single year of my life. We're going to have some hog jowl, black eyed peas, collards, sauteed cabbage, and cornbread. And the great thing about it is that it will make you prosperous in 2019 if you eat it.
That's what we all need. So let's get started.
We need to pick a cabbage. I've got some beautiful cabbage here, so I'm gonna pick one. This is the one I'm gonna pick. It doesn't have to be a real big head, so I'll be getting this one right here. I got my cabbage and I got some big leaves too. And now it's time to pick my collards. I'm gonna take this big collard plant. I'm just gonna break it off. We'll take it in. And I'm gonna get a few more collards. These are smaller, so they'll be more tender. So I'm just gonna cut these. Okay, we're gonna make the hog jowl bacon now. This is what it comes in. These are two different brands. This is a Smithfield. Notice it says pork, jowl, bacon, and it's hickory smoked, skinless, and sliced, and that's what you want. This is another brand here. This is Cumberland Gap. It's also hickory smoked, sliced pork, jowl bacon, and then it's skinless. I found the easiest way to cook this is with a bacon rack and a bacon pan. The bacon pan doesn't have to be this deep. It can be more shallow. But this needs to sit in here. Now I'll just take a big handful of the sliced pork jaw and I'm gonna turn them backwards. They kind of fit better if I put one row one way, one row the other way. The main thing is that you don't want them to be touching each other. All right, it's all done. I'm cooking about half a pack. And I put 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 slices on here. You could cut these slices in half, but I like to cook them whole, then you can slice them later if you want them smaller when you serve them. The oven is preheated at 375 degrees Fahrenheit. And I'll be placing this on the center rack, and I'll set a timer for 15 minutes. Now this is just to let me know when to flip them, and then I'll cook them until they're crispy the way I want them. It's been 15 minutes. Look at this. Isn't that pretty? I'm going to turn them over. And I'm going to put it back in. Okay, I cooked them for another 15 minutes, but then they needed a little bit more. So I cooked them about 5 more minutes, and this is what they look like. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? They're dark. They should be turning dark like they are. This is cooked perfectly. It depends on if you want them soft, like soft bacon, or crispy. This is more crispy. It takes a while to cook black-eyed peas, so I started those this morning. I washed a pound of beans. I put them in a pot, put 8 cups of boiling water on them, and then I put the lid on it and just let them sit for an hour. And then I rinsed them off, put them back in a pot, filled it up with water, and I boiled them for about an hour. And when I cooked them, I put some hog jowl on there, and this is what they look like. Look how pretty they are. Beautiful. And I'll top these with some jalapenos. This is my last jalapeno for the season. This is the collard green, but you don't want to cook the stem. You don't want to do it. The easiest way to do it is take your hand, go like this, and strip it all the way down. The bad part stays there, and this is the good part. Now it doesn't go all the way down, but that's good enough to eat it small. Sometimes the collards are so tender, you can leave this in. You don't have to pull it off. When you've taken the stem out, line it up here. The largest piece is on the bottom, and then you roll it up like this. So you got a big chunk, and the next thing you do is you take the knife and you cut it in about 1/2 inch strips here. And then you can cut it right in the middle here too. You don't have to do that, I like to cut it down the center. So there you go. It's all cut up, ready to go in the pan. To begin with, I've got 2 tablespoons of the dripping from the hog jowl. Now you could use olive oil, but not today. I'm gonna turn it to medium heat I'm gonna let the oil get hot. So now I'm gonna add the garlic. I've got 4 cloves of garlic that I minced. Probably about a tablespoon. And then I've got half a teaspoon of red pepper flakes. And after about 30 seconds to a minute, before the garlic starts turning brown, I'm gonna go ahead and put the collards in. They will cook down. Now I'm going to season it before it's finished cooking with some pepper and some salt. And I'll continue cooking. And now that it's green and it's got kind of wimpy, I'm going to put in 1/4 cup of water. I will continue to stir the collard greens until all the water is gone, and then it will be done. The collards are ready. I'm going to put them in the bowl. Look at that. Look how bright green it is. This is perfect. I slice it big chunk like this, and then I cut it as thinly as I possibly can. I go to the corner here, I slice it like that. After I cut it thinly, I'm going to chop it in half. And now it's ready to go in the pan. Once again, I'll be putting in 2 tablespoons of the drippings from the Hog Jowls. And now I'm going to put in the cabbage, which will cook down. And I've got a lot of cabbage because it cooks down. We love cabbage. I'm going to put some salt and pepper on it. This is going to be delicious. Look at that. The cabbage has a lot of water in it, so I didn't add any additional water. Now I can really tell it's time to turn it off and put in a bowl for the table. Isn't that pretty?
The last thing we're gonna do is take our cornbread and prepare it to serve. This morning, I baked some cornbread, and normally I would just slice it into pie shapes, but today we're gonna do something a little bit different. I'm first gonna take the cornbread and cut off each of the sides so it becomes a square shape. But don't worry, we're definitely gonna still be eating these too. Nothing ever goes to waste around here. Now, I'm actually gonna make these into smaller rectangular sizes. So I'm actually gonna cut this section into thirds instead of in half. And then I'm gonna cut this in half. So now, we have rectangular sized pieces of cornbread for our lunch today, which we'll talk about a little bit later on why we did this.
I'm going to tell you a little bit about each one of these foods.
Okay.
All the food has a purpose today. This is the meat. A hog always looks forward. If you look at a hog, it puts his snout in the ground and it goes forward to find food. He's looking forward. That's what we want to do. We're looking forward to 2019. Yeah. Not backwards to the old days, but forward to the new days. If you look close, you've got a chicken in the very center. So the chicken's free because the chicken kicks backwards. When they're looking for food, they don't go forward. They kick their feet backwards and then they look down. Yep. So we don't want to look backwards. Chickens are not going to be eaten a lot on New Year's Day because it's not the best of luck. And we want good luck, don't we?
Yes, we want good luck for sure.
Okay, black-eyed peas look like coins. So if I eat some of this, we're going to have some coins.
So we're going to get rich.
They're not worth as much as they used to be, but I like coins.
I like coins too.
Okay, let me show you something with cabbage first. You know when we went to pick the cabbage earlier, I picked these big leaves.
And I was like, Dad, why are you doing that?
I'm a teacher, so I like to illustrate things. This is a dollar bill. And so the next two things that we'll be eating or putting on our plate have to do with greenbacks or dollar bills. And so look at that. That looks like $1, another dollar, another dollar. And I just kept on going until all of them were gone. But again, when we eat the collards and when we eat the cabbage, we're eating to have great luck to be able to have some greenbacks or some money. I like dollar bills.
So it's like a step up from the coin.
It is. The last thing is your cornbread. These are gold bars.
So I feel like we're going to be really wealthy this year, Dad.
I hope so. We're working towards it. We're doing our very best. Makes a beautiful plate. Everything has meaning. And we use the grease from the hog jowl instead of using butter, instead of using olive oil. But today it's okay. It's going to be extra luck for us.
Yep. That was absolutely delicious. I loved all the textures, the flavors, the meaning behind everything.
And you know why you're eating them, right?
Yep.
I thought it turned out as an incredible meal.
Yeah. One thing that Dad and I have been talking about is really taking care of our health. And we know that a lot of you guys also have that resolution coming up. So for the entire month of January as well as February, we are going to be rehauling our channel to focus on healthy foods for you on your health journey if that's one of your resolutions, which we all are trying to get healthier.
One thing I can promise you, Katie, is that food is going to be excellent. It's going to be good for you, but it's going to be very tasty.
We can't wait for the beginning of 2019 with you.
We've got a lot of great food planned. We have 50 recipes that we've covered in 24 episodes
of 2018, which is pretty exciting to have already put 50 recipes out there for you guys. And kicking off with our first healthy recipe in January will actually be our 25th episode. If you haven't subscribed, please be sure to do so and be sure to click the notification button. Comment any thoughts and feedback that you have and give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed. We will see you guys in the new year.
See ya.
Bye.